Welcome to The Breakthrough. I'm Allison Dean, VP of Operations at Theorem, and today we are talking with Rohan Weigel, currently Vice President of Data and Operations at Realm. Previously, he held roles at BP, Uber, and Skyrise. He is passionate about solving logistical problems with technology. Hi, Rohan.
Hello.
Now tell everyone what Realm is all about.
Yeah, of course. So we're building the first platform for homeowners to really understand all of the big decisions that surround their home. So for 62% of homeowners, it's their biggest asset. What that means is that there's a lot of things they can do with it, right? They can take money out of it to help their kid go to college. They can make renovations. They can decide to sell it next year, or they can decide to live in it. And there's no one really who can help them with those decisions, right? So there's, maybe their crazy uncle that tells them, oh, you should, renovate this one wall of your house. And then there's a broker telling them something else and a real estate professional telling them something else. And there's no one really to turn to that doesn't have kind of a financial incentive. And so what we're trying to do is take all of this complex data and really distill it into a form that customers can understand and then action on.
I want to know what project comes to mind that you would say was the most memorable for you.
This is not a Realm project. It was actually at Uber. When we first found out that Bird was launching scooters, I was actually working in Santa Monica out of the Santa Monica office. It was funny, right? We were laughing, like, what is this? What is happening? Why are there scooters on the street? Then we kind of decided, we're like, oh, we should see if this is affecting our trips at all, right? And what we found very quickly was that all of the pool rides from like the Santa Monica Pier and a ton of the bars and all of these other places where people were trying to save money on rides were just completely gone. And it was very obvious that those trips were then being taken on scooters, because on the days that it rained, that didn't happen, right? Which are Santa Monica, so they were few and far between, but we did test it. So we decided to launch scooters too. And the thing that I loved about Uber was we never hesitated on decisions. Like, let's launch scooters. And the next day we were like shipping them from China. And then, I ended up going around and launching them in Madrid and in Paris and all these other places. And it was wild, right? And the coolest part was we were using all of the data from our Uber trips. We were cannibalizing our own trips, but it didn't matter, right? We were getting them, which was really cool. And we knew where people were getting picked up and being dropped off. And so we knew where those short trips were happening, right? So we could figure out using geospatial data again and a process of just understanding where and when to put the scooters. We could pick up those trips and then get them on our own platform, which kind of gave us a tactical advantage over Bird and the other players, because we actually knew where to put them.
What comes to mind when I say what was the most difficult project that you've been part of?
I'd have to go back even 2 companies before that to BP, and we were working on this used car delivery. And one of the hardest parts was we would sell cars and we just wanted to sell as many as possible.
Yep.
And we didn't want them to depreciate. So we would sell people cars from, New Jersey to people in California, which was, to me, I was like, this is not Amazon. We can't be doing that. What I kind of quickly figured out was like, okay, I can hire some truck drivers. And I actually did this myself, ran the tests and actually figured out how to do it. Was, let's buy our own semi trucks. If we're going to move the cars anyway, let's move them ourselves. And then let's preempt where they're going to be bought, right? So that we can move them before the buyer buys them. And then they still get charged for the shipping, but the car's already there, so we can deliver it in 2 days, right? It was super difficult because we had to run this kind of like all these analyses and build the technology to be able to do that. And then I had to go out and hire truck drivers, which I was like 22, and I'm hiring truck drivers from Florida that are, driving these trucks, and there's just mayhem every day. But the cool thing that it taught me, that even though it was difficult, was it was the most cross-functional team I'd ever worked on. There's a truck driver, there's analysts, there's like a dispatcher, there's the engineers that are working on this. And we're all kind of in the same room together trying to work these things out. And it was crazy.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Thank you for watching just a few of the highlights from this week's Breakthrough episode. To see the full podcast, click the link in the description below.